Today's video is sponsored by Embark Studios. Check the finals season 6 for free in the description. Remember this place? Yeah, 20 million players came to this place. It's the finals. Trouble is, they all left the game shortly after launch, which is kind of a shame because this game has changed. It's changed a lot. Let me show you. That's just a bit of a taster of how things have changed, but let's really break it down. I just want to say that whilst I am sponsored for this video, I've always been a fan of the finals dev and honestly wanted to make a video showcasing the kind of growth of this game anyway. The truth is, despite the player base dropping off for the finals back in December 2023, the Embark Studios dev team have worked tirelessly to make this game as good as it can possibly be. And all of these months and years later, it's clear to see how much that sort of passion has gone into this project. So to really show you how much the game has evolved, let's go back to the beginning with what we started with back in the finals when it launched and what you may be familiar with, and compare it to what we have today with the launch of Season 6. So a lot has changed. In the finals, you have 3 different classes. You have light, medium, and the heavy. And each of those classes have different weapons and abilities. Now, in the past, those weapons and abilities were fairly expensive, but that roster has grown massively at this point. And all of the weapons are very unique. They fill certain power fantasies and also counter and outplay each other really, really well. For example, the new minigun, yeah, it's a powerhouse. It's absolutely destructive and feels really, really cool. But a very fun counter to that is the dual blades, which can deflect incoming bullets when you face the enemy. It's really fun and awesome. On top of all of these new weapons and gadgets and abilities, I'll get into the gadgets in a second, the actual weapon customization has been improved. You probably remember when the AKM was stuck with iron sights. Well, that's all changed now. Most weapons can have a variety of different optics attached to it, and you can customize it to whatever one you want. For example, the pike weapon for the medium class is kind of like a mid to long range weapon that by default has a longer range scope on it, but you can customize that to have a shorter range optic if you want, or if you feel like living life on the edge, you can still go for those rustic iron sights as well. The specializations, which are sort of like the finals version of abilities, have been improved and expanded upon as well, with a lot of massive balance changes across the board. You probably remember when the defib on the medium class was super strong. Well, that's been balanced and adjusted so it's not so overpowered now. Everything has been refined when it comes to balancing to make sure everything feels decent enough and can counter different playstyles. Now, 2 new specializations have been added since you've last played. The dematerializer, well, it dematerializes things. Aim it at any wall or surface and you've just created a doorway to escape through. It's a really fun fluid ability. And then if you're playing the heavy class and you feel like you just can't quite catch up to everybody else, well, you can get over here your enemies, and the next thing you know, they're right in your grasp if you use the new winch claw specialization. There are a bunch of new gadgets as well that completely refine and mix up the playing field. So every class has a different selection of gadgets and abilities that can basically deal with whatever meta that may be going on in the game at the time. Now, you probably remember back in the day, there was a limited selection of game modes. You had Cash Out and Bank It, where basically, it was quite unique, you know, you have to go and get these cash boxes and defend it once you put it in the vault, but there is a lot more to offer now in the finals. They've actually added and expanded upon the roster of game modes so that there's always different ways to play and engage in the content. Team Deathmatch was just added now as a permanent game mode in Season 6, so if you just want to slay out, then this is going to be the game mode for you. We also have Power Shift, which is like a convoy game mode. You know, you got one team that has to move this objective through the map and the other has to try and stop it. We've seen similar game modes in other games, but in the finals it's extremely different because the convoy literally destroys anything in its path. buildings, entire churches, it doesn't matter, it's coming down. And then we have Terminal Attack, which is a multi-round attack and defend game mode, which is the current ranked mode. New maps have also been added since launch as well. Sis Horizon, an out-of-this-world glitchy city. Kyoto, a vast open 16th century temple. Fortune Stadium, a vertical urban space with lots of action between buildings. And Bernal, a vibrant Mexican city. And if you didn't play for a very long time, even Las Vegas is a map that might be new to you, and that's had a revamp in the latest season as well. So the game already has a lot of content added to the mix, but a lot of the core systems have constantly been refined as well. When you first start up the finals each season, you now get to choose a sponsor, and once you've chosen that sponsor, you're locked into them and you can earn rewards along that sponsor track. Each sponsor has different rewards, so choosing which one you like is going to be down to what you prefer. But each sponsor also has lore and backstory to it, and if you decide to go with one sponsor for one season and that same sponsor returns in future seasons, you kind of get a bit of a bonus, right, as you build up an affiliation with that particular sponsor, which is really cool. Ranked Leagues has been refined and improved over the seasons as well. And we've also got World Tour, which is a progression system similar to Ranked, but there's no negatives for losing. It's just the more you play, the more you rank up and the better rewards you'll get, with a leaderboard based on how players are performing at the top end of it. So it's a fun way to get into the action without feeling the stress of potentially deranking, and it's a little bit less high stakes in terms of the output and reward, which is a nice way to deal with things. And then on the other side, we also have Quick Play, which is kind of the casual unranked playlist. But now in Season 6, you even have progression in Quick Play, where you get Quick Play points. The more you play, the more you rank up and the more rewards you'll get. And even if that is just for sort of like casual progression, it's a nice little way where no matter what you're playing, you're working towards something. And that's just the gameplay modes. When it comes to your own personal progression, a lot has to be said there as well. If you go ahead and click the career tab, for example, not only do you have the sponsorship page, but you also have progression, where you can level up your own character to unlock more and more cosmetics, which is quite nice. But also, there's specific levels for each weapon, which will allow you to unlock unique skins for those weapons. There's also a new outfit system now, which makes it far easier to mix and match and create a style that you like when it comes to your overall body type and design. And it also then goes into clothing, where you can mix and match and try on outfits that you may not even own yet. And you can go through and try everything like this very quickly. And just like normal, the finals cosmetics is just absolutely out of this world. And what I really like with the finals devs approach to cosmetics in general is you just buy what you want. There's no messing around with silly gacha systems or anything of the sort. You get the items you like and you don't get what you don't like. It's as simple as that. And I just love the sort of vibe that all of these skins have, and it really fits in the lore as well, considering you're in this virtual arena where basically anything is possible. And now with the new store update, you can find skin sets to kind of go into your own outfits, whether you want to go for like wild and wacky skins or you want to go for like more tactical gear. You can create something that's unique to your own playstyle and build it for your own personal preferences, which is really, really cool. And I think this all goes together into one single point that I want to bring up about the current state of the finals, is that there is such a community that has been built over this emerging passion project that's just completely amazing to see. And one of the most glaring things that I noticed when going through all of the trailers to kind of brush up on my knowledge of the finals is everyone's just like really happy with the game. There's so many positive comments about the state of the game. When I'm streaming, people keep coming in and say, you got to check out the finals. It's in a great place. And it's like this community has been built up over time. And the supporting pillars of that community comes down to the developers, who are obviously really passionate about this game. And they're not just trying to squeeze out a bit of money, because if they were, the game would have shut down a long time ago. And even after all these years, seeing the game thrive in terms of content and this bubbling community, it just kind of is a shame to see that the game in terms of player numbers isn't quite there. And I hope that this could be a turning point for the game. I mean, the game is now on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X versions have better performance mode now. There's clubs in the game now, so you can sort of team up with your teammates. And there's even an esports tournament this year. They're running a $100,000 major tournament. And just like many other elements of the game, the winners of that could potentially be plastered around the maps in the future, whether it's billboards or other elements. And that really kind of goes full circle with this whole community element that the finals has become. And even if you go into the practice range, I remember back in the day, there were these couple of little trophies that showed the top players the previous season, and I thought that was kind of cool. Well, look at it now. This thing has been filled to the brim with all sorts of cool references, Easter eggs, names that are from the players who have grinded their way to the top. They're running out of space here, but it looks like a little capture, a tiny glimpse of what has happened over the years of the finals that we've missed out on. I'd say, like, I genuinely want to be a part of this game again because it's amazing not just to see the game, but the community is absolutely loving it. So to end this video, if you want to check out the final season 6 now, there's a link in the description. It's well worth checking out, honestly, a lot of fun. And I think everyone in the comments will agree, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.